In the headlines, NSCDC parades 4 over Zamfara Eid shooting. Fuel scarcity persists as reps summon industry players. Gombe communities lament water shortage following power outage. And on the forwards in Kenya, searches for missing people amid deadly floods. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for joining. Now the news in detail. The Zamfara State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) has paraded 4 persons who participated actively in breaching public peace and burning down the operation vehicle of the Corps during the April 10th Eid prayer held at the Central Eid Ground in Gusau. The spokesperson of the Corps in Zamfara State, Iko Oche, while parading the suspect on behalf of the state commandant, said the group had planned to cause mayhem at the Eid prayer ground as revenge for a fight with a group called Yen Ale at a gold mining site in Niger Republic. He noted that the group known as Yen Fagi lost out in the fight and decided to take revenge on Salade. Oche, however, added that their intention was thwarted by operatives of the Corps who were deployed to secure the Eid ground. He therefore warned miscreants to desist from fomenting crisis, as the law would deal decisively with anyone caught without hesitation. Meanwhile, the state commandant Sani Mustafa, on behalf of the Corps, said that the death of the teenage girl was highly regrettable. He assured the public of the readiness of the Corps to professionally protect the lives and properties of all and sundry in the state. Now, soldiers from the 6th Brigade Nigerian Army under Operation Wildstroke in Taraba State have cleared a kidnappers' camp and rescued some kidnapped victims. The acting director, Army Public Relations in the state, Lieutenant Oni Olubudonde, said in a statement issued on Tuesday that the kidnappers' camp was located at Punkun area of Fikyu in Usa local government area of the state. Olubudonde further stated that the soldiers who were working on intelligence report also recovered several arms and ammunition. He added the troops deployed at Kofai Amadu and Kasuan Haske, in collaboration with the troops from subsector 1A of Operation Wildstroke, also cleared a hideout of terrorists in Vineyard village of Castanala local government area of Benue State. The Army spokesman stated that the terrorists were engaged with superior firepower of the troops, leading to their withdrawal in disarray, as well as the arrest of a suspected kidnapper, Namid Dogo Manu, who was found in possession of 2 techno mobile phones and 40,000 naira. He said the further search at the kidnappers then led to the recovery of 1 AK-47 rifle. And now the fuel scarcity in Kaduna is creating severe hardship for residents following a hike in transport fare, as well as unavailability of vehicles to commuters to their destination. Trust TV's Bello Musa, who went round the metropolis, examines the extent at which the scarcity is affecting the transport system in the state. His report.
Kaduna is hit with the resurface of the fuel scarcity, which is disrupting the activities of commercial vehicle owners. The fuel scarcity has exposed us to another level of hardship. We are buying fuel at filling stations at the rate of 900 to 1,000 naira. Many of us have stopped operations because the owners are not accepting underpayment. Yesterday, I joined the queue around 9 a.m. and left around 8 p.m. without getting fuel. It is that bad. People have to wait for hours at the various bus stops before getting vehicles, yet pay the exorbitant fare to get to their destinations.
You buy fuel from 300, from 500, 700, 800. Now you are now buying fuel, a liter of fuel, which you buy for a gallon before. You are buying for it for 1,000. Why? So how the transport will be?
I have car. I pack it. I can't buy fuel. I'm trekking. That's just the truth. I can't afford to buy fuel in my car. I just have to pack it. And the one is there. It's what? It's decaying. It's spoiling. Things are spoiling. Maintenance.
As many are lamenting over the transport fare, this resident finds solace in using bicycle.
If there's anything they can do to curtail these pains, Nigerians are suffering. Nigerians are suffering. Look at almost everybody now is riding bicycle these days. It's not that we're enjoying riding the bicycle, it's just because of the way things are hard.
Nothing is working. I have to switch over to the bike, to my bicycle, which I only use my energy. When I go home, I eat and I drink water and I rest. But I think I'm far much more better than some other people. As you can see, some people are trekking now.
I don't have any problem going to any part of the metropolis. I ride to work and also attend to other family needs. I have nothing to do with petrol, as my bicycle is in good condition. It is close to sunset, but this resident chose to trek for kilometers to get to their destinations due to the either scarcity of the fuel or surge in the transport fare.
All the that I'm seeing, all are full, and they are telling me from Nasarawa Road to Kakuri 400 naira, so I'm saying 350. So I say instead of me paying 350, so if I'm going to Kakuri, it's not first, it's better I trek.
We got to trek because if we don't have means of, maybe there's no money. We're talking of food. We have families at home. Most of our families at home, 4 or 5 children.
It is due to the scarcity of fuel that led to shortage of transportation.
While other owners are stranded at many petrol stations in the metropolis, black marketers, mostly operated close to the filling stations, are taking advantage of the situation to make brisk business. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
And still on the issues of fuel scarcity, the House of Representatives on Tuesday passed a resolution to invite the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Heineken Lekubiri, and his counterpart for the gas sector, Ekperikpe Ekpo, over the fuel scarcity being experienced in the country. The Green Chamber also summoned the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Melekari, over petrol shortages in the country. This followed a motion of urgent national importance by the member of the House, Omar Ajilo, who raised concerns over the lingering queues at petrol stations nationwide. The House expects the ministers and the NNPCL boss to explain the true reason for the scarcity and the measures put in place to bring it to an end. No date has been set for the engagement.
All these economic programs have made the lives of average Nigerians unbearable, with the liter of oil saving as much as 1,200 in some states of the federations. Speaker, my dear colleagues, the Assembly was right in this occasion to ensure that plastic bills are making to address this unfortunate and correct situation permanently in the interest of all Nigerians. Speaker, my dear colleagues, my prayer is that both the House, the Honorable Minister of Petroleum Resources, and all relevant stakeholders in the petroleum industry to appear before this chamber to brief Nigerians on the real to play in this current world scarcity and avoid its recurrence in the industry.
Still at the National Assembly, there was a rowdy session on the first day of plenary since the Senate went on recess in March. The senators who have been on a 40-day recess resumed in the newly renovated hallowed chamber of the Senate. However, trouble started when one of the ranking senators expressed displeasure over the sitting arrangement. Trust TV's Sagir Ibrahim tells us more.
Amidst savoring the feel of the renovated chambers, trouble started when Senator Sahabi Alhaji Ya'u, representing Zamfara North, stood up to complain about the seat allocated to him to the Senate leader Okpeyemi Bamidele of Ekiti Central. Senator Ya'u complained, which initially started as a murmur, became a shouting match between the two ranking senators. Senator Danjuma Goje, representing Gombe Central, also joined in, expressing his displeasure over some ranking senators not being well positioned in the seating arrangement. However, the President of the Senate intervened, calling the leader and aggrieved senators to order. Welcoming the lawmakers to the resumption of plenary, the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, reminded his colleagues on the role entrusted to them and charged them to be courageous in their quest for improved welfare for their constituents.
We have been entrusted with an important role, and now is the time for courageous actions and strategies to drive this role. Together, let us implement a culture of care and integrated approach to combat everything that is wrong with our nation, from poverty to restoration of the dignity of the downtrodden and to protection of our precious natural resources. In conclusion, let us approach the work ahead with unwavering determination and a deep sense of responsibility. Once again, let us be reminded that the Nigerian people have placed their trust in us, and it is our duty to honor that trust by working tirelessly for their well-being and the progress of our nation. And by the grace of God, we shall succeed. So I want to welcome you and wish you fruitful deliberations in the days ahead.
The senators would later proceed into an executive session. Upon resumption, Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, took over presiding the session. The Deputy President of the Senate later adjourned plenary to Tuesday, 7th April, to enable the management carry out finishing touches to the renovated chamber for seamless plenary proceedings in the future.
Of course, we've discussed in the executive session that we adjourn today, and in view of the fact that tomorrow is public holiday, and for us to be able to put our hands together and also have all those things that need to be fixed in here to be done properly. So it's on this note that this Senate stands adjourned until Tuesday next week by 10 a.m. prompt.
He also provided further explanations to clarify the earlier disagreement between the lawmakers. From the hallowed chambers of the Senate, Sagir Ibrahim, reporting for Trust TV.
Now, away from the House, residents of some communities in Gombe say they have been experiencing water scarcity for over a week now due to power outages. According to them, their daily routines have been negatively impacted as they have had to delay cooking and at times suspend days without taking a bath due to the failure of the government to supply water to them. Hassan Kohli filed in this report.
This is one of the community centers supplying water to the people of Heruaganawat in Gombe. People are spending the night here with the expectation of having power for even an hour to enable them fetch water. For the past 9 days, residents have been dealing with water scarcity, with many complaining that the government water supply system did not work during the said period. We are in dire need of water because water has become like gold here. You must buy 1 jerrycan at the rate of 100 naira. That is if you are lucky enough to get one. This development is threatening our means of livelihood. I urge government to intervene because the situation is becoming unbearable. We have spent almost 2 weeks without water supply here in Heruagana. At times, we are not able to cook due to lack of water. I have spent 3 days on the queue without getting enough water for our house. The government has to look into this as soon as possible. With this development, people are reducing the number of times they shower in order to save the limited water they have. They are urging the government to intervene. There is no power or electricity here. I spent 3 days without taking my bath in this hot weather just to save the little water I have. Things are really difficult now. With the current water scarcity, I think this is the right time for the government and public-spirited individuals to intervene. The government should stop all ongoing projects and address this issue because it is our major concern right now. Communities in Gombe have been calling on the state government to address the issue since the vandalization of the electricity tower at the Gombe-Bauchi axis, which interrupted power supply in Gombe. However, the state government attributed this water scarcity to insufficient power at the Dadinkowa water treatment plant, which is the main water supply center for Gombe State, saying it is taking necessary measures to address the issue. Hassan Lawan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Kano High Court has fixed May 27, 2024 for the commencement of hearing on the case of the suspension of the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC, Abdullahi Ganduje. The court, presided over by Justice Usman Malam Naaba, fixed the date after listening to counsels from both parties. The applications are preliminary objection, joinder application, and challenge of jurisdiction of the court to entertain and hear the matter. The applicants, Haladu Gwanjo and Laminu Sani, through their counsel Ibrahim Abdullahi Saad, filed a motion ex parte with a 13-paragraph affidavit dated April 16 and sworn by the second applicant. At the resumed hearing on Tuesday, counsel to the applicant Ibrahim Saad said they were served with the counter affidavit by the respondent on Tuesday morning in court. He asked for another date to enable them respond to the application. Counsel to the first, second, and third respondents did not object to the request made by the counsel to the applicant for a new date to be given. You're still watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at how youths turn to menial jobs as unemployment bites hard. Details of this report and more to join us again. You're welcome back. You're still watching the news update. Before we get to the rest of the news, let's take a look at some of our headlines again. We told you earlier that NSCDC parades 4 over Zamfara 8 shooting. And the first scarcity persists as reps summon industry players. And now moving on to more stories. Youths in Imo State are now taken to menial jobs by various construction sites in the state to survive the biting economy occasioned by rising inflation. Trust TV's Ajibade Praise reports that across the length and breadth of the state, building sites are dotted with youth and are taken to bricklaying to put food on the table. The report.
For the youths at this construction site, there are no better option for them than what they are doing here in order to feed. Though they are popularly known and called bricklayers, but they address themselves as building engineers. One of them, Emmanuel Dike, said they have built many houses from scratch to finish in the Owerri metropolis.
We used to pack the cement and chalk the block while working.
So what is your job called? What is it called?
It's called building engineer.
Okay, you are a building engineer. Where did you learn this from and how long did you stay to learn this work?
I learned this work from Abia State, where my maternal home. From one Sir Onyema. So that is my boss, and he taught me the work good and perfect. Right. So I use it to feed my family and to take care of my needs.
With no formal education nor certification, they are good at what they do. Narrating their journey to how they became so skilled in building, they said the desire to be independent pushed them into learning the vocation from a seasoned builder who taught them the rudiments.
The nature of my job is building engineer. Why I decided to do it is for me to see something to cope up with. So for me not to rely on anybody to feed on. Like I made a lot of money there. By God's grace, I made a lot of money.
While they regret that government of the day has not been able to provide them jobs that can help take care of their needs and reduce crime, they call on youths who are still idle to get skilled that will get them out of idleness.
Due to the situation of the country, and then things are increasing every day. So we are now taking per day work 10,000 naira, and while labor take 5,000 or 4,005. You should try and look for something to hold. An occupation is good, because why by I'm working like this, I use this as a help to myself to feed my family and to take care of my mom.
My advice for them is that, in this country, hardship, they have to go and find something doing, because tomorrow, if they are stealing, the stealing may not favor them. This hunger is everywhere, so that you can see something to cope up with. So you have to find something doing. Don't stay idle.
At a time like this, when most Nigerians are looking out for alternative means of survival amidst the economic hardship, these youths are urging their counterparts across the nation to acquire skills that will put food on their table other than taking to crime. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
And personnel of the Nigerian Navy has rescued over 250 passengers on board a capsized boat in Rivers State. The 3-deck wooden boat was said to have departed from a local market in Sangana area of Bayelsa State around 10 p.m. on April 28, 2024. In a statement on Tuesday, the Navy's Director of Information, Commodore A. Adams Aliyu, said the boat was approaching Rivers State when it encountered stormy waters and collided with a rock. Adams Aliyu noted that the boat was overloaded, lacked any life-saving equipment on board, adding that none of its passengers were wearing life jackets. He noted that no lives were lost in the incident due to the prompt response of its personnel. He encouraged maritime operators to consistently ensure that their boats are equipped with life-saving equipment. Recently, popular actor Pope Odonwodo, popularly known as Junior Pope, and 3 others died after their boats capsized in Delta State. And away from Nigeria, the Minister of Interior and National Administration said on Tuesday that a search operation has been launched following the busting of a dam in Mai Mahiu in the center of the country the previous day. And hundreds of people are reported to have died as heavy rains have lashed East Africa in recent weeks. At least 46 people were reportedly killed on Monday morning after the busting of the dam led to mudslides and flash floods in Mai Mahiu, the ministry said in a statement. In a situation report, survivors describe an onslaught of water that carried away houses, cars and railway tracks. 53 people in the area were reportedly missing, and the Interior Minister said. And meanwhile, the Kenya Red Cross said its tracing desk has reports of 76 people missing at the moment. And in sports, the United States and Mexico have withdrawn their joint bid to host the 2027 Women's World Cup and will instead focus on bidding for the tournament in 2031. It comes less than 3 weeks before the hosts were to be chosen at a FIFA Congress in Bangkok on May 17th. The remaining bids are from Brazil and a joint one from Germany, Belgium and Netherlands. The U.S. Soccer and Mexican Football Federation said their 2031 bid will call for the equal investment as the men's tournament in a historical first. And the federation said in a statement that the revised bid will also allow soccer to build on the learnings and success of the 2026 World Cup, better support their host cities, expand partnerships and media deals, and further engage with fans in order to host a record-breaking tournament in 2031. And the U.S., Mexico, and and Canada are hosting the Men's World Cup in 2026. And with that, we have come to the end of the news update at this hour. For more news, documentary, and of course programming, follow us on all of our social media platforms. On behalf of the news crew, my name is Martia Umar. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to Trust Television.